The cadet hall aboard the Velithian training cruiser Nesquora hummed with low chatter as a group of young alien recruits gathered around the holoscreen. Today's lesson wasn't about weapons assembly or flight maneuvers. It was about a species none of them had encountered in person. Humans. Instructor HFY, a battle-worn officer with scars that glowed faintly under the ship's sterile lights, stood rigid at the front. "You have been assigned to observe the Sol sector," he announced, his deep voice vibrating through their thin carapaces. "These beings call themselves humans. Primitive, yes, but their recent history demands study." The holoscreen flickered to life, showing grainy footage of blue-green terrain scorched by fire. The cadets watched silently as human soldiers, clad in mud-stained armor, charged through trenches filled with smoke. Explosions lit up the night sky. Artillery thundered. There was no sign of retreat in their eyes. Only a grim determination that unsettled the young aliens. Cadet Lorik, the smallest of the group, tilted his head. "Instructor, these are pre-warp bipeds, correct? Their weaponry is chemical-based. Why are we assigned to study them?" HFY tapped his claw against the deck. "Because their history is an anomaly. Their conflicts, their persistence, their adaptation. It defies probability models." The footage shifted to another scene. Urban combat, humans hauling wounded comrades through collapsing structures. A squadron pressed forward despite overwhelming odds. Some didn't rise again. Cadet Yivra, always quick to scoff, let out a sharp trill. "I don't understand. They fight like this over scraps of land? Over flags?" "That," HFY replied, "is only one layer of their madness. Wait." The next clip made the room fall silent. It showed human medics working under fire, dragging strangers, both ally and enemy, to safety. Explosions rained down around them, yet they did not abandon their task. Cadet Rowe, the most sensitive among them, felt his limbs grow weak. They risk themselves for those they do not know? His mandibles twitched uncontrollably. Moments later, his secondary heart skipped rhythm. With a sudden clatter, he collapsed to the floor. The room erupted in alarm. Two cadets rushed to lift Rowe, their limbs fumbling. Yivra hissed, "Is he?" "He is alive," HFY said firmly, scanning the fainted cadet. "Overwhelmed, perhaps. The footage is intense for untested minds." The instructor paused the reel and turned to the class. "Now, tell me, does this seem like a species worth conquering?" A murmur swept through the hall. Lorik's voice was quiet but steady. "They suffer great loss, yet they return to the field. Their resolve is illogical, but it is not weakness." Yivra's arrogance faltered. "If they do this to each other, what would they do to us?" HFY bared his teeth in what might have been a grin. "Exactly. Command believes humans may fold easily under pressure, but I have studied them longer than any of you. They are not predators in the traditional sense. They are something stranger. They endure. They learn. They turn even their tragedies into weapons." The holoscreen resumed, now showing a montage of human history. Wars that spanned continents, revolutions that toppled empires, campaigns fought in ice, jungle, desert, and void. Every frame carried the same thread: humans fighting, rebuilding, advancing. A cadet at the back finally spoke, his voice a whisper. "Instructor, our mission briefing says we are to prepare the Sol sector for annexation. Do you still believe that is wise?" HFY's gaze lingered on the screen. "No. I believe it is necessary to prepare, but not for annexation. For negotiation, or survival." The lights dimmed as the footage ended with a final image. A human child handing water to a wounded soldier from an opposing side. No command, no reward, just instinct. Rowe stirred awake, groaning softly. "What happened?" "You fainted," Lorik muttered, helping him sit upright. Rowe's compound eyes flicked toward the frozen hollow image. "I dreamed of fire, and hands pulling me out of it. They would have left me behind. But they didn't." The hall remained silent for a long moment. Then HFY deactivated the display. "Cadets, remember this. You were taught that strength is numbers, that victory is technology. Humans carry a different strength, one we do not fully understand, and that ignorance may doom us if we treat them like prey. Outside, the stars of Sol glimmered in the void, unaware of the young aliens staring toward their system with a new unease. For the first time, the cadets felt the weight of their mission, not as an opportunity but as a warning. And somewhere deep in the dark between suns, humanity prepared for nothing at all, or perhaps everything.